Hello and welcome to your morning practice. My name is Keegan, the Balance Nomad, and today is day 7 of the Gentle Morning Yoga Challenge. I'm so proud of you and so happy you've joined me for the past 7 days on the mat, starting your days with gentle movement and intention. Today is our last day. If you enjoyed this series, definitely let me know. I'd love to do something similar in the future. And without further ado, let's just get straight into the practice. We're going to start in a seated position, choosing whatever feels best appropriate for you this morning. And shutting down the eyes, just connecting with the breath. Inhaling through the nose. And exhaling out the mouth with a sigh. Repeating this for 3 more deep breaths. And beginning to ask ourselves what our intention is, not just on the mat, but how we want to be off of the mat today. It could be a sentence, a phrase, or just a one-word intention. If you're struggling to find an intention this morning, you can always use mine. My intention today is peace. And taking one more deep breath here, really sealing this intention. And we can blink eyes open. We're going to start with a bit of a neck release, so just bringing right ear over to the right shoulder. On an inhale, bringing head up to neutral. Exhaling left ear to left shoulder. And just repeating this to our own breath rhythm. And bringing head back up to neutral. We can bring fingertips to the tops of our shoulders here, just finding some big circles. First moving backwards. Just taking these at any pace that feels good for you. And reversing these circles. And last one. Releasing, just moving to tabletop from here. This time we're going to be facing the back side of our mat. Hands underneath shoulders, knees underneath hips. You can find either traditional cat and cow or maybe just some body circles feel better for you. Always choosing whatever the body is asking for. It doesn't necessarily have to be the movements I'm doing. As long as you're here on the mat breathing, that's exactly where you need to be. Moving in the opposite direction. And coming back to a neutral spine here. And moving to low lunge from this position, bringing our left foot forward, just framing out the foot with the hand. We can stay low for 2 breaths here. Just seeing how we're feeling in the hip flexors this morning. They do tend to be a little bit tight just as soon as we wake up. And on an inhale, we can bring arms up above us, feeling nice and strong in the lower body. We're gonna find a bit of a side bend here. So dropping our left fingertips to the left side of the mat and leaning ourselves over with that right arm. Gaze can be forward or maybe slightly up if that's okay for your neck. And releasing, once again, framing out this foot. And now bending into that right leg, creating a kind of kickstand, bringing that right hand to the top of the mat and coming into a modified side plank. Bringing that left arm overhead. Just here for a few breaths. And bringing those hands to the top of the mat, just moving into our tabletop once again. Feel free to take a few body rolls or maybe shake out with the hips, just in any intuitive movement that feels good for you here before we move on to the next side. And we can bring right foot forward this time, framing out that foot with the hands, staying nice and low for 2 breaths. Just checking in with the hip flexor this morning, making sure bringing breath to any areas of sensation or tightness, trying to soften where we can. And taking a deep breath in, inhaling those arms straight above us, gaze can remain forward. Transitioning from here, bringing those right fingertips to the right side of the mat, finding a bit of a side bend. Bringing breath to that left side body. And once again, framing out that foot, transitioning into this modified side plank, using that left leg as a kickstand, and bringing the left hand to the back of the mat, just finding our alignment here in our modified side plank. Right arm just comes straight overhead. Gaze can be forwards or maybe slightly upwards. And releasing out of this posture, just coming to seated in the center of our mat. We can be seated in hero pose or maybe just cross-legged feels better for you. Just finding some seated cat and cows here. Inhaling, rounding out through the spine, bringing chest forward, gaze goes upwards. Exhaling, rounding out the spine, bringing chin to chest. Inhaling ourselves forward. And exhaling, rounding out the spine. And just releasing here, moving back into tabletop, this time facing the front side of our mat. Finding thread the needle from this position, inhaling that right arm up, threading it underneath. We're not gonna drop the shoulder yet. We can inhale, coming back up, finding this twice more, dropping the shoulder, and coming back up. And our last one, threading through, and we can stay here, keeping that left hand either planted beside the face or stretching overhead. Also optional to bring that left arm behind the back, creating a kind of bind here, reaching for that right inner thigh. And if hand was overhead or behind your back, just bringing it beside the face again. Once again, stretching that right arm up. Just finding these little thread the needle movements on the opposite side. Inhaling that left arm up. Threading it through, dropping that shoulder. Once again on an inhale, stretching through that left arm. Threading underneath. And last one, inhaling left arm up. And this time, dropping shoulder. We can stay here for a few breaths, choosing our arm variation, maybe overhead, and maybe behind us, reaching for that thigh crease. Whatever option feels best for you here. Bringing hand back beside face if it was moved. Once again, inhaling, bringing that left arm up from tabletop, just moving down to Cobra from here. Planting hands roughly under the shoulders and pressing ourselves up. We're just gonna move back and forth from these positions for a few breaths, exhaling, dropping down to the mat. And on an inhale, pressing ourselves up to Cobra, gaze goes upwards. Exhale, we fold down. Inhale, pressing up. And this time remaining in Cobra for 3 breaths. Coming back down to belly, just pressing ourselves to child's pose here. Optional to choose extended child's pose or child pose with legs together. Stretching arms forward, bringing forehead to mat. And walking ourselves up from child's pose and straightening out through the legs. Just finding our seated forward fold from this position, moving any extra flesh out of the way, inhaling arms up straight and folding ourselves over, hinging from the hips, grabbing whatever is available, whether that be shins, ankles, or bottom of the feet. Walking ourselves up, just coming down to the back here. Moving to happy baby from this position, either grabbing onto big toes or the outside of the feet, just making sure we're pressing tailbone into the mat. And feel free to find stillness here, maybe a bit of a rock, or even straightening into one leg and then the other. Any intuitive movement that feels appropriate. And we're coming to a close of this practice. So try to reconnect with your intention, thinking how you can cultivate this intention off the mat today. And releasing legs down, just finding spinal twist to close, bringing right knee into the chest and bringing it to the left side, straightening through that right arm, bringing gaze to our right fingertips, or maybe shutting down the eyes. Bringing right knee back into the chest, giving it a big squeeze. Switching to the left. Bringing that left knee to the right side. Gaze comes to left fingertips. Bringing that left knee back in towards the chest. Squeezing both knees into the chest, giving ourselves a big hug here. And rocking ourselves up to seated, closing out our practice from here. Once again, shutting down the eyes. Taking a deep inhale through the nose. And releasing, exhaling with a sigh. Bringing hands to forehead and bowing forward. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me here on the mat today. And if you're here for all 7 days, I really appreciate it. And you should be so proud of yourself for showing up every single day this week for morning movement. I loved creating this 7-day challenge, so definitely come back to it if you're ever craving some more morning movement, and let me know if you'd like me to create more week-long series like this one, because I'd love to do that. And thank you so much for being here. I hope to see you in another video soon.